Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. For those of you not currently looking at the screen, it says Bitcoin's price has broken $17,000 as equities have jumped on US Fed speculation. Yep, you heard that correctly. I woke up rather late, as you might have been able to tell, and was oddly surprised to see that prices were up. At the moment, there's a gargantuan amount of speculation surrounding what the Federal Reserve is going to do next. And based off of that speculation, world markets are now, you can use the word, pumping, and the cryptocurrency market is doing the exact same. It says Bitcoin breaks past $17,000. Will Bitcoin also breach a 4% weekly run? I mean, anything's possible at this point. We are still at the very beginning of the week, so we just kind of have to see where things end up going from here. But there's a rather large amount of optimism coming from nearly every single sector in the financial world. It says Cardano suddenly soars by 17%. Cardano is currently the most up altcoin, I believe, out of the top 10 and or top 20 coins. The price of Cardano has surged roughly 17% over the last 24 hours after months of severe underperformance. I mean, it's been every single coin, so I always find it weird when people write that in an article as if Cardano's been the only coin that was going down. It's now 32 cents, and the market cap is around $11 billion. This has allowed Cardano's native token ADA to surpass Dogecoin by market cap. It says the latest price move seemingly came out of nowhere, since it is not linked to any actual announcement. So, I think this news might be linked to an actual announcement. I hope, for the sake of humanity, that it's not the actual news that we got that is the actual reason why Cardano rose so dramatically in price. This is very popular news. Cardano skyrockets by 17%. Bitcoin breaks $17,000 after 1 month. The news that I was able to find that dealt with Cardano was this. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson has announced that he is opening a new hospital. Okay? And it's going to be called Hoskinson Health and Wellness Clinic. The clinic will be accepting payments for its services in, you guessed it, in ADA. The latest cryptocurrency news saw ADA soar by over 15% in 24 hours, making it the best performer amongst the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap. So, the other altcoins are also up. There are many coins that are up by 3%, 4%, 7%, you name it, they're in the green. Cardano is the highest performer. And I would like to assume that, well, maybe it was. Maybe there are a lot of people who want to go to the Hoskinson Health and Wellness Clinic, and therefore this is why the price of ADA rose. But this seems to be the only real actual reason. There was no news of an update or an upgrade or a new proposal or the stablecoin launching or the smart contract this happening tomorrow. It just happens to simply seemingly be that there's going to be a Hoskinson Health and Wellness Clinic opening, and they're going to be taking ADA as payment. Also in the news, it says XRP's price is in green as Ripple helps transfer close to 500 million XRP. I believe we are. I don't even know the exact time frame. I couldn't tell you if I tried. The time frame for when Ripple actually unlocks their XRP to begin distributing it or whatever. But the large movements of XRP in the last couple of months have been an indicator to a lot of people who are trying to figure out where XRP is going and what Ripple's doing / with the lawsuit, that it appears that Ripple may be selling off large amounts of XRP to companies who are actually going to be using it. If that is at all confusing, I don't know how to simplify it anymore. Every month, 1 billion XRP unlocks for the Ripple team, and then a lot of companies around the world are going to be using XRP, so they are accumulating it, and that's the coins that Ripple is then sending to them. When a large amount moves from Ripple's wallet to some other unknown wallet, it is a big indicator that they are selling off huge XRP to other companies, and therefore this is bullish because it means other companies are going to be using XRP more and more in the future, as we have been seeing. Unsurprisingly, the court case news is, of course, once again everywhere. Talking about it, it literally says the court case update as of the 9th of January. Nothing new has happened. There are still tons of people on Twitter, on Reddit, who claim to be or say that they are or might actually be lawyers and or defendants or whatever the case might be in the case, or working with Ripple or not working with Ripple, who keep giving ideas as to when they believe that the lawsuit is going to actually end based on other lawsuits that they've seen before of a similar case or a consistency or whatever the case might be. And it's because of these beliefs that these people have that tons of people have once again been reaccumulating large amounts of XRP in anticipation of the lawsuit ending sometime at the beginning of this year. We're also still getting news that the SEC does not want the lawsuit to end. So they keep, I think, trying to file new paperwork, but I think we should be seeing something relatively soon. So that's also there as well. In weird, okay, sure, why not price news, Shiba Inu's burn rate has registered a surge of 1,390% in the last 24 hours. This is depicted by the SHIB Burn website. The enormous burn rate is related to both the project debut of Layer 2 blockchain system Shibarium early this year, and the return of whales. According to data on the SHIBurn website, a total of 410 million SHIB tokens have been burned in the last 24 hours. The number is an increase of 1,395% from the previous day's burn rate. There have been major. Okay, it's weird. It should be 4 major transactions, but it's flipped around that led to the increase in this. So Shiba Inu is always in the news. We've gone over that a lot of times, especially if you watch News I Missed. Shiba Inu news is in the news every single day. It is the next, if not most popular meme coin that we currently have. We've gone over that before, where we looked at the world charts, where they showed that Shiba Inu was actually ahead of Dogecoin in popularity, and the main focus at the moment that I understand of the Shiba Inu community is to have so many transactions happening that the coin burn continues to accelerate. And if the coin burn continues to accelerate, then you will eventually have so few Shiba Inu coins that the price will hit the illustrious number of 1 cent, which seems to be the goal of the entire community. The burn rate continues to accelerate despite the the lowness in prices. So I have been wondering for a while if eventually we do get to a point where prices are skyrocketing once again, exactly how many coins are going to be burned in a day. I assume it will be hundreds of billions at that point over the course of a day or two. Yeah, this was very popular news. Shiba Inu burn rate surges over 1,300% in 24 hours. We'll get there eventually. If it's this popular in the news all the time, we will at some point be seeing people talking about that it is 1 decimal place away from 1 cent. It just seems to be an inevitability at this point. Also in the news, we now have indicators that people who are mining Bitcoin have stopped selling. Why is this significant? You can you can mathematically find out exactly how much that it costs to actually mine a Bitcoin. So once again, if Bitcoin's price is $16,000 and it costs $20,000 to mine a Bitcoin, we historically see that tons of people begin to unplug their machines because it's simply not worth it for them. And we've also seen over the course of the last month, it has literally just been roughly around a month. The people who are mining Bitcoin were actually selling off amounts of Bitcoin in order to pay their electricity. It's just how it works. You gotta, spend some money to actually pay your bills that you have. However, over the last couple of days, we have been seeing indications that the people who are mining Bitcoin are actually not only are they not selling anymore, but some of them are also buying up more Bitcoin. There's a little chart right here, which is very significant. You can see the timeline right here. We are now, take this with a gigantic grain of salt. I have been talking with a number of friends. These are my finance friends. Hello, if you are watching and or listening to this particular video. I've been in crypto for a very long time. I mean, let's throw it back to around like 2015 when I should have been buying more, but alas, I did not. I've been a part of multiple cycles. I know what the cycles look like. I know what it sounds like. I know how people talk and how people discuss. Have you seen that chart before where it shows like the phases of a cycle where it goes from like euphoria to disbelief to, oh my gosh, we're making so much freaking money, to like, oh my gosh, panic, and then despair, and then depression, and then like all these other little things. I've noticed that as long as I've been in crypto, the phases in the cryptocurrency space, and we went over this a month and a half ago. If you were watching or have been watching the channel, once again, thank you for the support and all the likes. It does help out the channel a lot. We went over this, and I told you something feels really weird about the market because it feels like we're slipping into the next phase. The phases, once again, are prices are going up so high they can never fall down. Prices have fallen down. It's okay. They're going to go back up. Prices are down, but they're only down for a month. It's okay. Prices have only been down for 6 months. Okay. Prices have been down for a year. What's going on with the market? We get some other type of dramatic, really weird, odd news story that ends up popping up. This time it just happened to be the whole FTX fiasco. Everyone's told to panic. Everyone panics for about a good month and a half. I'm making videos telling people not to panic because you shouldn't be panicking for something that has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price falls. We end up hearing like whispers of whales buying, whales accumulating. We end up getting news that the month before, which is the news that we also just got, was the actual accumulation phase. Whales were buying up tons of coins because they were undervalued. And then we end up getting news that prices are going to be moving back up. Prices are going to be going up. Prices, blah, 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 blah. You kind of name it. And then we usually end up on the cusp of the time frame, which is the year before Bitcoin's actual halving ends up taking place, which is next year. So by the time we get to, if all works out, historically the way that it has played out is that by the end of this year, we should be roughly around a $40,000 to $50,000, $60,000 Bitcoin. Sometime next year, Bitcoin's price accelerates, blah, 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 blah. We get to $100,000. But the movements in crypto that I'm talking about right now remember how I always say, watch out for this signal. And this is usually when you know that, and I air quote here, the normies are getting back into crypto, is when you start getting those text messages from friends who you don't talk to and haven't spoken to you in over a year. And they're like, hey, dude, look, oh my gosh, look at what I heard. Look at what I just bought. It's a really weird telltale sign where these people, for some reason, have heard from someone else who heard from someone else that it's time to get back into the cryptocurrency space. But it's not clear, cut, and dry as far as that. What I've seen from my side of friends and people who I know is they begin to send me scam coins. That's always the first indication. And I've gotten multiple text messages just last week alone of tons of people telling me, oh, dude, look at this. And they send me websites, and the websites say, hey, look at us. We got a new crypto. It's called Potapato, and this new coin is more decentralized. It has fewer coins than Bitcoin, but people who know nothing about the cryptocurrency space, they end up falling into these coins. And this is usually when we start to pick up. I noticed when my comment section here, the last 3 or 4 months, it's been a gigantic wild ride. People who once used to write me very nice comments have been, you can see the sludge falling out of their mouth. Very rude, very mean, because something's happening in their life. And this is, I'm the outlet that has to take the negativity from them. But you also I see that flip turn into light bullishness and or nicer comments as people begin to make money. and also a gigantic increase in the amount of bots in the comment section. If you've been in the comment section before, you know there's a huge amount of bots. I can't stop them. They're automated. They're not mine. They're from other companies and people who are trying to sell you these other things. When this begins to accelerate, this always tells me that this is the beginning of prices really starting to move higher, because it means that normal people have an increased activity on social media. They're using more of the terms that mean that they're going to be getting back into the cryptocurrency market. It just takes a price move higher. Like, how many people do you know? Look at Bitcoin's current price. How many people do you know would rush back into crypto if Bitcoin hit $30,000? Because they would realize that they could have made a $13,000 profit. Therefore, they don't want to miss the next leg up. People begin to push more money back into it. Bitcoin goes to 32,000. It's all over in the news. Bitcoin has nearly doubled in price. Everyone rushes back in. It's always the exact same metric. This other metric that we currently have on the screen is that people who are mining Bitcoin are no longer selling. Now they're actually buying. It's a gigantic thing, and it happens every single time. We went over this years ago as well. We went over this even before the movements up that we had in 2021. It's always exactly the same. Once we end up, now here's the other, this is a warning for you. I know that around 5% will remember and or listen to this. At some point during this phase, over the course of this year, there's going to be some new coin that is going to pop up. I don't know what it's going to be called. I don't know what it's going to do, but understand that it's going to be garbage. This coin will be the gigantic center focal point for the cryptocurrency bull run. There's always one coin. Everyone rushes into this coin with hopes of riches and all these other things. In a year and a half, you will no longer hear about that coin because it was just a scam. Look out for a coin that everyone ends up loving, everyone throws money into, everyone makes huge profits from, but the coin is actually a scam. And when that coin pops up, I'm already seeing some instances of these coins that a lot of people are talking about once again, where people begin to tell me in the comment section, why are you not talking about that coin? I write that coin down on a list and I see how many other times it ends up popping up. And I know that that's the mark, if you will, for the cryptocurrency bull run. In unsurprising news, it says stock futures rise to start the week as traders try to build on Friday's rally. I haven't looked deeply into it, but apparently whatever happened on Friday, remember I told you we had a bunch of earnings calls that would be happening over the course of Friday. Basically, we are in the period where companies are announcing if they did well last year or the year before, how much inflation has affected them, how much this is worrying them, or how much profit they ended up making despite prices going up, or whatever the situation might be. And apparently a lot of companies appear to have done just well, and this is an indicator, wink, that the Fed's actions might have actually done what they said that they were going to do, and that inflation might continue to decrease. If inflation does continue to decrease, then we will be hearing from the Fed that they're going to be raising interest rates, but it won't be as high. And therefore, this is why the markets are moving. Stock futures, if you didn't see the screen, are also up right now. So if the stock market opens up and we see a very big push up in prices, or indicators that the Fed is going to be more dovish as opposed to more hawkish, then the cryptocurrency market will also further move up as well. Very interesting morning that we have floating around us. I'm still giving it until spring as my time frame for when I think things will begin to blossom with markets because of the Fed's stopping of interest rate hikes. But we'll see. That's all the price news that we have at the momento. And yeah, let's move on. In gigantically major news today, the long-awaited Flare Network Token airdrop, FLR, apparently is taking place today. It's happening on major exchanges, including Binance. According to social media reports, some users have already started to receive their tokens. In the meantime, the Flare will not be distributed or listed on Binance US. I'm pretty sure you can figure out why. The distribution of Flare on centralized exchanges will take place among XRP holders according to the formula distributed by the project. The initial airdrop will apparently only be 15% of the total size of the fund, and the remaining 85% will be used according to the proposal put forward by the Flare Foundation earlier. Thus, for each XRP held by each person at the time of the snapshot, 0.15 Flare tokens will be dropped. A total of 4.28 billion Flares will be distributed starting today. In this case, if the proposal to change the terms of the distribution of the remaining 85% tokens is rejected, 1 Flare will then be airdropped for each XRP held. So this is 2 or 3 years in the make. I think it's literally 3 years in the making, where they were talking about for every XRP that you had, you would get an entire Flare token. Apparently, there's like a new proposal to stop that. I can only assume it has something to do with the company trying to keep more Flare for themselves, but don't quote me on that. It's more of a we've seen this before kind of activity. So if everyone does end up getting their entire Flare, I feel like that would be more fair, because that's what everyone was told from the get-go. 1 XRP, 1 Flare. The key goal of the Flare network is said to be to bring smart contract support to XRP. It says, as a reminder, the XRP ledger does not currently have support for smart contracts. What? I would have never guessed that. That's crazy. How did that happen? Which is why XRP does not have this functionality. Yeah, this is why we have the Flare network. Why would you? That's the point of the... Anyway, so the idea is, it's finally happening. Is this also part of it? No, that's something else. So a long time in the making. We'll see what ends up happening. I'm sure a lot of people will be checking. If you are an XRP holder, check your local centralized exchange to see if you have received any Flare coins. What historically ends up happening for those of you whose first cycle this is, or first airdrop, the coin's price is going to tank. That's not a surprise. That's not FUD. It's simply that this is how it happens every airdrop. People get free money and they sell off those tokens to either cash out or they put it into another cryptocurrency that they like or know more. Usually after the price drops and or bottoms, this is historically when we end up seeing the price slightly moving up once again. And that's when the true functionality of the token then has to come into play, i.e., is the coin actually being used? Is the project being used? And therefore, that's when prices will rise. So don't be surprised if in a week the price of it has dropped, because this happens every single airdrop. I think many people are not accustomed to airdrops because they're not as popular as they were about 5 or 6 years ago. There used to be like 3 airdrops a day. It was very, very weird. People, I mean, depending on how many of another coin you had, there were people who were posting like, I'm making 5,000 a day from airdrops. It was it was a very weird time in the crypto space. So yeah, Flare is apparently being airdropped today. So good luck to everyone out there who is getting some essentially free money. Moving along. I noticed that a lot of times, it's all the times, whenever people hear something that they don't want to hear, it is considered to be FUD. And I need you to understand the point of this channel is for me to tell you and go over daily crypto news with you so that you are, at the forefront of what's happening in the cryptocurrency space. I'm not here to baby you or to hold your hands or to tell you how amazing your investment in any coin is, regardless of what coin it might be. We went over that years ago with Bitcoin. I told you all, I was like, if Bitcoin continues to fail and continues to fall and isn't worth using, you will hear it from me firsthand. So I've noticed over the last week, it was literally the last week, a number of the videos that I made had a lot of information with bars and graphs and charts showing people how centralized the number of coins were. However, the FUD machine, as I'll call it, went completely insane with a number of people attempting to try to harass me on Twitter and on here as well, I would ask you in no uncertain terms to just get a life. If my channel does not please you because you are not getting hyped up enough to buy some crappy coin that's going to make you lose money in 2 years, there's an X button. I'm not sure. It should be on the right-hand side, usually in the up. You click that and leave my video and the channel because it's clearly not for you. A lot of people just want hype news and they want to hear that what they're it's incredibly odd. I think a lot of people don't like reality, and that's not a joke. I think people don't want to hear if a coin has an issue. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this was a day or two. I don't remember when it was anymore. We found out that Binance, after the entire FTX fiasco, has apparently been benefiting from movements in crypto the most. And at some point, Binance actually was moving around 92% of all Bitcoin just through their systems. So yeah, just had to throw that out there because I want to make it abundantly clear what the point of this channel is. You are not here to hear from me that a new crappy coin has come out and it's going to do a 75,000x and you need to put your money into it. Those are scammy hype channels. And if you've been here for a long time, and I give you a good 6 years max, following this channel, you've seen those other channels come out, thrive, and then disappear because these people are trying to scam you. So that's just how it ends up going. Etherscan.io data has revealed that the largest crypto exchange, Binance, now holds a staggering 83 trillion Shiba Inu coins in two of its associated wallets known as a Binance 28 wallet and Binance 8 wallet, and there's a chart for it right there. The development comes after Binance made the highest and best bid to acquire the bankruptcy cryptocurrency broker Voyager's assets that are worth over $1 billion. So Binance, I don't think I have a lot of it in this video. Binance is currently being questioned by, I think it's the DOJ. I think it was the DOJ, who in December and the end of November announced that they were thinking about launching an investigation into Binance. And also, I think the SEC is trying to shut down one of their latest acquisitions. For those of you who don't understand why, Binance is not only the largest crypto exchange on the planet, but they basically are the cryptocurrency market. And a lot of people are realizing that they have too much power and they're too big. Like imagine going around the world and you only see the name of one bank everywhere that you go, no matter what city you're in, no matter where you're traveling. And I mean, you go out of your country, out of your city, out of your state, you go to 15 other countries, and you only see JP Morgan Chase everywhere. And at some point you get an indication that JP Morgan did something wrong, and you realize that the only bank on the planet is JP Morgan Chase. Well, then what happens to your money? So there's a lot of discussion now, and I'm sure it's also happening internally at Binance. Binance is way too big. Way. If there was an FTX situation with Binance, Bitcoin would be at $400. And that's the FUD that people are talking about. It's not FUD if it's true. I wish people understood crypto lingo a lot more, but I think a lot of hype boys get into the space. They hear these terms and they don't. Have you ever hung out with people before who don't know how to use slang? Listen. In my life growing up, I've met so many people who've used, and I can't even remember what it is anymore. They've used slang, but it's not how it's supposed to be used. Like, I can't even think of, I can't think of, a sentence. But the point is, a lot of people in crypto don't understand what the terms mean. FUD does not mean I'm trying to destroy your coin or your project. It's supposed to, anyway. The point is, Binance is now the largest holder of Shiba Inu. That should not be a thing. They should not have 83 trillion coins in their possession. We'll see what ends up happening, but all right. That's the Binance is too big news. Let's move on. In one of my favorite news stories of the day, just starting off the year right. According to blockchain researcher and economist journalist Colin Wu, Solana's RPC endpoints and mainnet Explorer are currently offline. What? Solana, no! Due to a bug in its latest release. Solana has urged users operating on the impacted nodes to change to version 1.13. Solana Foundation run promote protocol procedure call RPC endpoints are currently offline due to a bug in its latest test released 1.14. While Solana has urged those operating on the impact nodes to change over to 1.13, the Solana network remains unaffected, with blocks production taking place normally. This is due to the fact that other private RPCs run by firms such as Alchemy, QuickNode, and Triton are still available to use. Wow. RPC endpoints are nodes connecting decentralized applications and wallets to the blockchain. So it's the beginning of the year and Solana's already having issues. And I say this is my favorite news story because guess what? Not only did Solana have a problem and some of it wasn't working and people said they had outages and crashes on the on the database because Solana's not a blockchain at this point. I don't know if you know that. But here we go. Solana actually rose by 22%. So remember when I told you last year that there was like a huge problem with Solana and then no one kept on listening to me because I was simply spreading FUD and a lot of people left the channel and followed other channels that told them that Solana was going to be the greatest thing in the entire world. And then we had news that apparently the entire reason, allegedly, why Solana had been doing so well over the course of the last 2 years is because that FTX, that one, actually held such an enormous amount of Solana that they were maybe potentially doing something. So the point is, on that news, that the reason for Solana's success was basically because allegedly, because of FTX, a lot of people were like, oh no, now we got to stop using it. But on the news that Solana has stopped working due to the latest database upgrade, the token's price has risen by 22%. I don't know how much of a gigantic. I'm thinking of making a money rules video where I'm holding a gigantic red flag and I'm just waving it with the word Solana on it for 30 minutes. I don't know if I have the strength for 30 minutes, but gosh darn it if I won't try. Major news today. I'm sure a lot of people aren't paying tons of attention. We are currently at the point where if you don't realize that this coin is garbage, there's probably no saving you. And that's the nicest way to put it into English words. The amount of people who are trying to hype up the Bonk coin, that is BONK. That is the new meme coin that people who use Solana and have tons of Solana are trying to make a thing. They're burning huge amounts of this coin in an effort to actually throw it into the news. For those of you not looking at the screen, that is 100,000 million billion trillion. They burned 5 trillion of this new coin over the course of a week. Why? So that they could put it into the news that 5 trillion of this coin was actually burned because it makes really good headlines. I'm not sure if Bonk is the mark for this cycle, but please pay attention. You have news and indication from me every single day that Solana is garbage. We had news less than 4 weeks ago. There were I think it was 763 developers on Solana at the beginning of 2022. By the end of December, there were 7. That's 700 to the number 7. There are tons of projects that have left Solana and are never going back, and they went over to Ethereum and to Polygon. And a lot of them also went over to Cardano, because Cardano did not fall apart 9 times last year. I won't spend too much time on this. This is simply, it's a light touch warning. If you have not learned by this point that this is literal garbage, I can, You can lead a crypto trader to water, but you can't make them think. That's the Solana stopped working because of their latest upgrade. What? That's Solana. That's never happened before. That's crazy. And then the price rose by 22%. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on. Also, in very popular news, that people tried to make this bigger than it actually is. So, allegedly, a number of companies within the cryptocurrency space are currently being investigated. This is because of basically Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. You know, it's the story we can't get away from. Digital Currency Group was one of the larger companies, but so was Celsius, so was Three Arrows Capital, you kind of name it. And a lot of these companies are now allegedly being investigated by the DOJ, the SEC, the ABC, to basically go through their numbers and see if they have or have not been fraudulent over the course of the last couple of years. Why it took a gigantic fiasco for them to now want to check into these coins, I'm not sure. I feel like the regulators should be regulating every single year so we don't have to go through this. But because it's Digital Currency Group, a lot of people are talking about them being investigated and will this affect the prices of crypto. If it does, everybody's stupid. Gigantic period at the end of that sentence. Digital Currency Group is not Bitcoin. It has nothing to do with Bitcoin. They are not Bitcoin. We don't mine Bitcoin from Digital Currency Group. And anything that they might have done, it says through internal transfers of their own funds, is them. If they did something wrong, that's their problem. So look out for this over the next couple of days to see if people are going to try and hype this news once again. Anytime you hear news that's not Bitcoin has gone offline, it has nothing to do with Bitcoin then. Everything else is simply a centralized company who has centralized problems in a centralized way. That's a Digital Currency Group news. People tried to make this into very big news. It's not. I promise you. I promise you. Moving along. Also this is actually very big news as well. Ethereum's Shanghai update is expected to go live in March and would enable, or should enable, the withdrawal of staked ETH. As per the latest developer conference, the rollout would mark an end to a 2-year wait by validators who can only deposit ETH into a contract and not take it out. They said as the only major code change in Shanghai, staked Ether withdrawals are currently being tested on a developer-focused test network. Developers aim to launch public testnets for the Shanghai Kappa upgrade next month and tentatively schedule a mainnet launch for the upgrade sometime in March of 2023. This is a news that we got last year. The importance is that we're re-getting it again. Ethereum's team, or in general, has a very long history of, oh yeah, it's January, we're going to be launching that update in April. March comes around, oh snaps, it's March? Well, March and April sound like July, so that's where we're going now. And by the time we get to July smells like Frulai, so see you guys in September, and it keeps going. This is a very big thing. I made fun of this for years. It took 6 or 7 years for us to actually get Ethereum 2.0 in its current iteration. So the fact that we heard last autumn that we would be getting this upgrade in March, and the developer team has said the word March again, means that we're probably going to get it in March. This is going to be a huge factor in the price movements of Ethereum, as we are then going to be able to hear from the major crypto exchanges that we are going to finally be able to stake our Ether on these platforms, which you currently cannot. Some of them do have contracts where you can deposit stuff with them, and then by the time Shanghai has happened, you'll get your staking rewards. But like as an active putting money in, taking money out whenever you want kind of thing, that currently is not a part of the Ethereum network. So when we finally have this, apparently sometime in March, big things will be happening with the price, because this will then allow normal people, which is basically to say like 80 9 to like 95% of people who aren't like just, actively depositing their coins to start making passive income all the time. We already saw before that Ethereum's issuance rate once again has dropped by 90%, and the coin is currently deflationary. So when tons of people, when the only new way to make Ether is by depositing it on a cryptocurrency exchange and getting Ether that way, that's kind of the big shebang. That's the Ether news, and the news that the word March is there once again. Let's move on. As always, a big old thank you to my Patreon supporters: Martin Stoyer, Bodie McBoatface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, and let's move on, Empire Queen, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave the Dealer's Den, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Lay, Mobarazi, VB Nerd 21, Lauren DeSilva, Quoted Biddy, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Navarro Williams, there we go, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Adam Rita, Bibliophobia, Adam Grayson, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Setsuna, Paxis, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Anytime Fitness, Monks, Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara Macho Nisa, and On Crypto with Lionel. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who has left a comment, has left a like, who has subscribed, who's been here with me all these very dramatic years in the cryptocurrency space. Bitcoin is currently up by 1.88%. It is at $17,258. Ethereum is up by 4.6. It is at 1,322. Binance Coin is up by 6. XRP is up by 3. Cardano is up by roughly 12.5 percentile points. Dogecoin is up by 9. Matic is up by 7. Solana is up by 21%. The coin's literally down. Litecoin's up by 7%. Tron is up by 5. Polkadot is up by 7%. Shiba Inu is up by 3. Uniswap is up by 6%. Avalanche is up by 5. Cosmos is up by 12. Chainlink is up by 6%. Ethereum Classic is up by 6%. Stellar Lumens is up by 5. ApeCoin is up by 11.89 percentile points. Algorand is up by 6. Near is up by 7. VeChain Thor is up by 8. Filecoin is up by 12% as well. EOS is up by 5. Luna Classic is up by 5. Something that has 23 million. I'm not going to even say that coin because that's proper manipulation right there. Aave is up by 6% as well. Flow is up by 13. Sandbox is up by 14. Mana is up by 12. It is a green day for the cryptocurrency markets. I do hopeth that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for liking, commenting, and or subscribing, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.